Hi guys, thanks for coming back to another video. I wanted to point out some things that the Lord has actually been leading me on, bringing back into my remembrance a couple of videos and dreams that were given to me some time back. The one I was reminded about today, if you go into my channel, and scroll all the way down, you'll find one that has a Brady Bunch logo on it. And it's that video that I had identified a couple of dreams in. But the dream that I wanted to talk to you all about is one of two that are on this particular video. And really interesting that the Auroras is a video that I did right next to it, because in this particular video, the video that I want to talk to you about is about the auroras. So going back into that video, I think this is it here. This was published back in April of last year. Somewhere around the 28th mark, I start to go in and talk about this particular dream. I want to listen to what this dream has to say, and then talk about it a little bit and tell you why this was brought to my memory again today. Let's listen in. Later. Okay, so here's the last dream. Here's the last thing that I wanted to share with you all today. This dream, and I'm sorry guys, I have a sore throat, so if my voice is wavering in and out, I apologize. This dream I received on Sunday coming into Monday. April the 10th is when I wrote up the dream, which was Monday morning. And I submitted this one to Lou as well. And I said, okay, I can't recall the first part of the dream, but the end I can recall very well. I was in this pool of water, and I was jumping out of the water and flying above it. I was doing flips and loop-de-loos and flying all around. And I saw a person that I knew in the water. Oh, and let me say this too, because I forgot to tell this to Luke, but I knew I had been trained how to fly in the water first. I knew I had been trained in the water first, somehow. I don't know how I knew that, but I did, and I forgot to write this down. Okay, so I saw this person that I knew in the water. I'm flipping and jumping and flying above the water, going back into the water, jumping out, flying, doing loop-de-loos, getting back into the water. And so I saw this person I knew, and I went up to him, and I was jumping out of the water and flying all around. And this person looked like my Uncle Neil. And he was watching me, and he really wasn't saying anything. He wasn't saying a word at all. And I was really like trying to show him how far I had gotten in my training. I'm like, look, I'm flying. I'm doing loop-de-loops. What's going on? Why? I was just wanting to convey to him how far I had gotten in my training. And he was just like, he was despondent. He just wasn't, saying anything at all. But finally, he did respond. And I'm not sure what he said. I can't recall what he said, but he finally recognized that I was flying around. And so then the dream switched. And I was standing. I was on land at that point, and I was standing, and I was about ready to take off and run to jump up to fly. And so while I was running to jump up, I thought in my mind, gosh, I hope I get up there. Because now I'm not over the water anymore. I'm on land, and I'm having to do it over land. And in my mind, while I'm running, I'm like, man, I hope I get up there. And as I'm going, I was a little wobbly at first, but I got up in the air and was flying. I was flying around, and I was doing flips and circling around, and I also remember thinking that I needed to be real careful about my feet during takeoff, because I wasn't real sure what was going on with that, but I needed to be careful about that. And man, I was flying. I'm telling you, it was, and I wasn't afraid, which was shocking to me, because I wasn't afraid flying around. Not at all. I wasn't afraid at all. There was no fear attached to that at all. I was a little nervous about trying to get up going over land, so I must have been experiencing, you know, the early stages of learning how to do that over land, because I'm questioning in my mind, man, I hope I get up there, you know. And so then all of a sudden the dream switched, and I'm back in the pool of water. And as I'm looking around, my uncle is now, not my uncle is now Greg Brady from the Brady Bunch. Y'all remember Greg Brady from the Brady Bunch? That's who it was in the water. I was like, oh my goodness, it's Greg Brady. And I was asking him about the stars or the sky or something that's going to be happening in the sky. And the only thing that I can remember was the word Borealis, Borealis, and which I know is part of the name of the Northern Lights. That's the Aurora Borealis. And so I asked him, I said, are we going to be able to see it? And he said, no, we'll be gone just before then. And so I remember feeling like it would be nice to be able to see them, but knew it was important to go. I mean, I knew it was, I felt like it was like, when you're on vacation and, you're looking at the schedule of what's going on in the area that you're on vacation, and you see that they're going to do a fireworks celebration, 3 days after you're scheduled to leave, or a week or something like that. And you're like, oh man, it sure would be nice to be able to go see that. Wish they were doing it before we left, but you still knew you had to leave. You were going to miss it, but you knew it was upcoming. That's the way I felt. And so, so that was the kind of feeling. So I don't know if the sky event is coming like in a day or 2 days or exactly how long after we left, but it was after. And we would leave before that occurred, and that was the end of the dream. So this Aurora Borealis, this sky event, I believe the first fruits are going to be out here before that occurs. Okay. So that was really the dream, and just to put it into a nutshell, the name Neil means champion. So Neil was the one that was training me how to fly. But Greg Brady was the first of the children. He was the oldest in that television series. He was the oldest of the children. He was the first of all of the children, which is why I'm saying in regards to the first fruits leaving before the Aurora Borealis. So now I know that there are a lot of messengers out there that have received messages from the Lord stating that part of the warning is going to be the red skies and the color in the skies. But guys, I know things are going to be happening in stages, and I believe the first fruits, according to this dream and the understanding that I have been given through an interpretation, will be leaving before the Aurora Borealis. Okay, because that's what I asked. Are we going to be able to see it? And I was told in the dream, no, we're going to be leaving just prior. So just as I'm saying here, I don't know how far that will be after the first fruits leave, but it will be something that will be occurring after a group of people leave. Okay, so now there is a video that actually reminded me of this that Paul Begley put out today. And let me see if I can pull it up. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, but I think it would be really good for you to listen to the whole thing. It's only about 5 minutes long. But this is Paul Begley. This is what he put out. I believe it got put out today. Let's check and see here if I can move this down. August the 20th. Yeah, so it got put out today.
He's talking about the solar winds and the possibility of the solar winds coming off the sun creating a mega quake, a mega 10 quake, one of biblical proportions, one that such a great shaking even the Bible has talked about it. But that's not the part I want you to listen to. I need it. I'm trying to show you how this is actually getting ready to tie in, I believe, to that dream we just listened to. So let's listen in.
Are you serious? Are you serious? What? 10.0 earthquake? Magnitude 10 tremor is possible, according to a study out of Japan. One thing I want to share with you right now is the solar winds blowing off the surface of the sun is at an extreme abnormal speed, high speed of 643 kilometers per second. This is of major concern because there's also a hole in the sun's atmosphere that's, as the sun has shifted toward the earth, these extreme, explosive, accelerating solar winds are going to be coming directly toward the earth. Now
Okay, so notice that he's very descriptive. Number one, I do love Paul Begley, but the second, the thing I really want to draw your attention to is the intensity and the strength and the speed that these things are coming off of the sun. We talked about in a video not long ago, what things could shake the earth, because I saw the earth shaking in the spirit. The earth had vibrated in the spirit, and we talked about certain things, energy waves and all different kinds of things that could actually shake the earth. And so I bring this to your attention so that you can seek the Lord on it and pray on it. But we know that there's been a whole lot of shaking going on. If you check Paul Begley's channel, you will see all of the different videos that he has out there regarding some of these strong earthquakes that have been happening all over the place right here recently. So not only Fiji, but some of the other places as well. So please check into that. But what I want to show you, is in regards to these solar winds. So let me go ahead and pull up. Let's see. This is www.space.com. And the article that I have here is Northern Lights 2018, When, Where, and How to See the Aurora Borealis. This is the word that I heard in the dream. The Aurora Borealis is for the Northern Lights. There is also the Aurora Australis, I think, is the one for the Southern. So I know that this was the Northern Lights that he was talking about because of the Borealis. That was the one word that I heard in the dream. And so when I went through here, what I was looking for was, can the solar winds that are coming off the sun cause an Aurora Borealis? This is what my research was taking me on this afternoon. I felt led to look into this, and this particular article is pretty good. It's got all kinds of different information in here. It tells you where to go, when, if you want to see the Northern Lights, and it even comes into North America. But that's not the part I want to show you. You guys can read that later on. But let's see. The Northern Lights result when charged particles streaming from the sun collide with molecules high up in the Earth's atmosphere, exciting these molecules and causing them to glow. And so I thought, well, okay. Well, that sounds like it, but it doesn't really pinpoint it. And so I was like, I really need to see something that pinpoints it. And so I got to this particular paragraph, and let's read what this says. It says, this standard aurora is generated by the solar wind. Now that's what he was just talking about. The particles streaming constantly from the sun. but solar storms known as coronal mass ejections, which is what he was talking about too, can ramp up the northern lights considerably and make them visible over much wider areas. Okay, so guys, this is what I needed to see because this was the question that was in my mind. When I sat down to look at Paul Begley's video, okay, and he said that about the solar winds and the speed and the strength coming off of the sun, my mind immediately went to the Aurora Borealis. And guys, now I don't know anything about the northern lights. We don't really see the northern lights this far south in the United States. It's just not something that happens. Maybe over Canada and closer, definitely closer to Alaska. All up in that area. And then I know that at some point, either was it last year or maybe the year prior, that it even dipped down as low as some of the northern states in the continental United States. Michigan, I think, might have been one state that saw it, saw some of the northern lights. But these high solar winds, according to that article, can ramp up the northern lights, and the standard aurora is generated by this. So guys, I need to just kind of give you an alert and let you know that dream that the Lord gave me back in April of 2017 regarding flying and the auroras and Greg Brady in the dream representing the firstborn, representing the first of all of the children, stating that we were leaving before the Borealis. I just need to bring this back to your memory, and I just want to ask that you seek the Lord on this and ask for confirmation. Just seek the Lord on this and ask for confirmation. There is another one that he has been leading me to. I'll come back and do another video for that one. But guys, go back into some of these messengers' older videos, because the Lord is bringing things back to our memories, to dig into back into old journals, into older dreams. There's things that he wants us to remember, and there's things out there that he wants us to pay attention to. So guys, God bless you. Thank you for coming back to another video. Until we see each other and speak again, God bless you. Bye.